Hey folks, I hope this PIE stuff isn't turning out to be a little overwhelming for you. It's actually pretty simple, and it came up last night in a conversation that I had with my daughter, who's 12, and was trying to write an essay on a book that she read for her sixth grade class. The book was called Under the Ashes. It's about an earthquake, the earthquake that happened in San Francisco, and its protagonist is a young girl. And in it, my daughter was trying to argue that there are a number of themes are at work in the book, but she wanted to focus on social injustice. And she wrote a rough draft. And when I looked at it with her, I said, well, what you're doing is you're summarizing the story, but you're not really focusing in on where the social injustice is happening in the story. And she went, oh, gosh, you're right about that. And then we had this back and forth where I said, okay, where do we first see social injustice happening? And then where do we also see it happening in the book? And so once my daughter began to understand that she needed to state clearly, my cat is kind of bothering me here. Do you want to see my cat? I'm going to bring him up really quickly. Come here, boy. Up you come. Oh, there he is. He's an old raccoon. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so once we were able to focus in on, okay, what's your point? Social injustice, we first see social injustice occurring in the story when we see little Beth as a child. And so then she can go into the details about that. Then we make a transition into the next time we see social injustice happening. Well, we see it when her Aunt Sally wants to marry a man she loves who is Jewish. But Sally's Christian, and so she can't see how they could raise a child in the culture that they're in 1906 San Francisco, where their kids would be accepted. And then we have another example of social injustice. So we have another paragraph. We see social injustice occurring when little Beth is helping some of the Chinese immigrants who have lost their families and their homes because of the earthquake. And we see the prejudice that's being displayed against them by the Euro-Americans that are in San Francisco. And so you can see how a structure begins to emerge of point, information, explanation. So my daughter had the focus that she needed to write the essay. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's arranging your thoughts in a pattern where you have clear points that you're making, you're providing information to support your points, and then you're concluding with an explanation about why it's important, and that leads you on into your next paragraph. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I just wanted to touch base with you so you didn't think that PIE was some very advanced writing technique only for college. Students in sixth grade use it too. Okay.